But certain things that I see going on, yeah, we should close down all stations from the nation. Why? Cause all you fretting me. We walk good about you, don't give a fuck. Administration is riding we back. All you fretting me. You hear me? Most of us do the pre-promotion goes. Now you jump seal and busting we. All you fretting me. Don't fret me, 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 don't fret me. I said don't fret me, don't fret me. All you fretting me. Yeah. Right up the reader. Every police walking around the clock to get all the black and video back. When we hold the culprit behind the fence, some complain and say leave them, it don't make no sense. Say what? All you fretting me. We walk good about you, don't give a fuck. Some of all you just attacking we. All you fretting me. We seeking for betterment in this place, but all you stabbing us in with chest. All you fretting me. Don't fret me, 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 don't fret me. Say don't fret me, don't fret me. All you fretting me. Hey, 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 right up the reader. Say what? Any tiffin man that go in your home, they not leaving no table there unturned. If you come and meet them, then I told it. And you handbug them, your life they will take away. Say what? All you fretting me. We walk good about you and give a fuck. What them bandit do, all you look for that. All you fretting me. Some of all you see thief in your area, not one of all you call the officer. All you fretting me. Say, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me. Say, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me. All you fretting me. Yeah. This very said fellas commit murder. We take several years to solve it after. Concealing the crime is delaying time. Still police cannot put cat in their behind. What? Say what? All you fretting me.
Yeah, all you fretting them men and them, you know. Yeah.
Papa, we ask you question, you don't know about that. All you fretting me.
Say not above the pay grade, all kind of thing, you know.
Them brute don't want you to live happily, yet you hold back information from we. All you fretting me. Hey! Don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me.
You know, anytime I play that song is because some officers tell me play that song for them, because right now, yeah, they're getting fretted. Yeah, they are being fretted, not fetted, you know. They're getting fretted. A special good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour.
If we raise a hand, all you run us down. Yeah. On paper and radio, round the tongue.
Yes, it is talking points.
To bring back morality in this place. We should let all those bandits fight their own case. Say that. All you fretting me. We walk good about you, don't give a fuck. The media and liars riding we back. All you fretting me. In the act we hold them crook fair and square. Liars say their client was never there. All you fretting me. Don't fret me, don't fret me.
Don't fret me, don't fret me,
don't fret me,
don't fret me,
don't fret me. I said don't fret me, man. All you fretting me. Yeah. Think about it. We are working so hard.
Zelia,
running us down.
Zela, Zoe,
our drug men want to operate free.
Nemara, Neela, good night.
To spoil the good name of our country. When we capture them, they call the lawyer. Yeah. Judge and lawyers see police as the offender. Say what? What is that? All you fretting me. Yeah. We walk good about judge don't give a fuck because all of them are food in the pot. All you fretting me. A guy attempt to rape a young lady. The judge and juror set the damn man free. All All you
And we see what happened, ain't it? Yeah?
Hey, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me. I said don't fret me, don't fret me. I said don't fret me. All you fretting me. Hey, we walking out, we walking out, we walking out, so don't treat us bad.
Upgrade as some officers say they want that tune on. Yeah, I know the Senate this flash drive, your email, whatever. Yeah, so some of them say that they want it. Folks, of course, we like to say a special good night to those of you joining us via YouTube, those of you joining us via Facebook, and those of you joining us via 92.9 Sister Isle FM out there in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Yes, they should be on with us. So we say a special good night to them. And our good friends in Brooklyn, 94.9. Hope that you all are having an absolutely wonderful night tonight. Huh? Somebody reminded me today we need to be speaking to and with the young ones, huh? And even some of the elder ones too, who just, they acting like if they, yeah.
Come out to fair, to have fun and to dance. You got last style and he said, shove down inside your pants, your intention plain. Somebody getting chopped again.
So good night to all our listeners out there in Brooklyn,
Nice, skinny,
Maryland,
nice. Instead of bringing she
Alberta in Canada,
where you looking for
Florida, those of you in Buffalo, yeah, Houston, Texas,
but if it's true video playing,
Arizona, yeah.
prison,
I keep forgetting to shout out my friends in Arizona. They come on each and every occasion with us. A good night to you, Darren. Yeah.
some man ending up with you.
Darren and Sue, good night to both of you.
Man gone, and Monday,
California, good night.
man ending up with you, girl.
Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Barbados, Jamaica, good night.
In over bill,
Yeah, Jamaica had their local government elections and so.
and when I
I haven't seen the final results of how the municipalities have been shared up, and so I haven't seen the final thing.
remember, some man ending up.
Yeah, folks. So today, I know that there was a press conference by the Ministry of Health. So I say, well, it's a government minister is there. Maybe you might hear a little something in relation to the situation as exists right now, because when I go online, now I'm a person, I like to read and listen to a lot of news. So I'm into a lot of different websites where you get news on things that are happening locally and regionally, internationally. I like a lot of science, so I'm into that kind of thing and so on as well. And I'll tell you something, what has been covering my news feed, and if you understand how social media works, once something is popular, it tends to push it towards you. And especially if you've made a search or you've watched something in relation to that. And every time I go onto YouTube now, every time I go onto Facebook, but especially YouTube, you're seeing this story of Grenada, missing couple, Grenada, missing couple, Grenada. They ain't talking about St. Vincent or the guys in St. Vincent, all kind of thing. You're just hearing, well, yeah, they were detained in St. Vincent, but Grenada, you keep hearing that story about Grenada. And I, in my simplistic mind, would have thought that after 1 week and 3 days, because they escaped Sunday last week. So after 1 week and 3 days, I thought that by this time, the government of Grenada, I'm not speaking here about the Royal Grenada Police Force, the government of Grenada, the Prime Minister or the Minister of National Security or the Attorney General or some such person would have at least sent commiserations to the family of those who are missing. In other words, to put it in simple language, at least show some sort of empathy or some sort of sympathy for the sons of the individuals that are missing and presumed dead. And they are presumed dead due to what? According to what the Vincentian police have been saying, because when it comes to the Grenada police, we ain't really ain't much. According to what they have been told, what has been confessed to them, yeah, it is more than likely that these two individuals have gone to the great beyond. Yeah? And therefore, the search has been continuing to try and find them or their remains. Yeah? So I thought, but at least by this time, that people who cared, the same way Dr. Mitchell has done it, where he has come out and he has said to the families, well, we're sorry for what has happened. He has sent his sympathy out to the family. Yeah? In the same way that he has done that, I thought that by now, if we have a government of people that care or that understand, that they would at least by now have said to not just the Grenadian people, but the world at large, we are sorry that this took place at all. Not just that it took place in Grenada. Yeah? Not just that it took place in Grenada, but at least that, hey, we are sorry that this thing took place at all, that your loved ones are now unaccounted for, that the last place that they were seen is in Grenada. But up to now, up to now, you have 1 week and 3 days. The Prime Minister, even after knowing that this happened, flew out of Grenada, now on Inside Edition, on CNN, on BBC, on NBS, on DW, on basically every single news network in North America, both in America and in Canada. Also on news networks in Europe. All over the world, you have Grenada being spoken about in this negative light. And with all of that happening, the government has not found it necessary to execute a strategic communication strategy to engage all of those stations and to try and guide the narrative in a positive way. That you drop some pictures and remind people that you don't have to die and go to heaven. Grenada is heaven. So you could come here, you could come with your yacht, you could come on a plane, you could come on a cruise ship, you could visit heaven without dying. So we could remind them of that. But instead of that, there's just absolute silence. It's like all of them have tape across their mouth. They refuse to talk. So the Prime Minister has said, and the excuse of him being out the island is absolute nonsense by idiotic people who are attempting to obfuscate the issue. In other words, they're trying to confuse us. They're trying to hide. Plain and simple, they're trying to hide. Because this is 2024. And I am pretty sure the same way when he was going to the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III, the same way when he was going to the coronation day, that he walked with a cameraman, the same way when he was traveling to different events in the US and so on, that he made sure and made provision to carry a cameraman with him, and to carry executive secretary, and to carry whole kit and caboodle. The only person that used to travel with that amount of people was the late Muammar Gaddafi. Traveling, going with these big delegations and so on. Cameraman and this and that. You couldn't carry cameraman now and have a proper message crafted to send back to the Grenadian people. And we're not just speaking about the events of what happened week before Sunday with the kidnapping of these people, the hijacking of their vessel, and what took place with them and how that reflects on the international scene. We're also speaking of the events of what happened last week Friday. Now you have confirmed that the body that was found in River Sally was a case of murder. You have that confirmed now. 3 individuals have been arrested for that. I had heard the full story. So what is being put out now? I heard that story since Friday itself. But I couldn't confirm it, so I didn't come here and say, well, it's a murder. Let the police come out and that's their job. They come out and they say it's a murder. The police do their job, albeit nearly a week later. Now they come and they tell you, yes, it's a murder. These people have been arrested because these people have just been arrested and charged. So you understand in that context. Yeah? But I try to understand, and let me see if I can pull this one up. I try to understand other things here because there are things that are at a specific level confusing. Very confusing to me. Yeah, I try to understand how after being out on the run for a week and how many days? A week and it should be a week now and let me see if I can pull this up here. A week and 2 days. A week and 2 days. It is now that the Royal Grenada Police Force is finally sending out a notice to let people know that this guy is missing and to send out 2 pictures of him. Yeah? Remember, this is a murder accused. This guy is accused of murder. There are people who are potential witnesses in this case and so on that are outside there. I hope they have protection or whatever if he knows who the people are. Yeah? But this is an individual who is accused of murder and is missing since last week, Monday. And a week and 2 days later is when they finally, we thank you all for finally sending it out. We had to beg Ollie basically for it. But a week and 2 days later is when they have finally sent out, finally sent out a release that states, let me read it here for you. For those of you that may not be seeing it clearly there, it says, the Royal Grenada Police Force continues its aggressive efforts to recapture Livon Date, alias Magic, 33 years old of Griffin Lane, St. Andrew. He is approximately 6 feet 1 inch in height, slim built, dark in complexion with brown eyes and black hair. Livon Date, who was charged for capital murder, escaped police custody while attending Grenville Magistrates Court on Wednesday the 21st of February 2024. The Royal Grenada Police Force specially appeals to anyone seeing Livon Date or who has information about his whereabouts to kindly contact Grenville Police Station at 442-7224, CID St. George at 440-3921, Emergency at 911, Police Hotline at 444-1958 or the nearest police station. Note well, Mr. Date may be armed and dangerous and should be approached with caution. The source, Office of the Commissioner of Police, Community Relations Department, and their number there is 440-3764 and 405-5324. You can email them at crd@rgpf.gd and so on and so forth. So finally, the police have found the wherewithal to let us know, and it's on their page. Yeah. Nimrod Oliver, good night, sir. Yeah. So you have, these are the pictures of the individual that they are looking for, 2 different pictures of him. Right, folks? So, yeah, he's about 6 feet 1 inch, dark complexion. You see what his face look like. Nice? Yeah. So, a week and 2 days after, again, it goes back to what we have been saying. And let me make this clear. We, at least on this program, we are not attacking the Royal Grenada Police Force. Yeah, we are not. We are pointing out errors that are being made. We are offering our assistance because we recognize that there is a deficiency. There are several deficiencies. Yeah? If they want to say that I'm attacking the leadership of the Royal Grenada Police Force, then so be it. Because if they're doing nonsense or they do not understand what they are doing, then we the citizens can call them out on it. Yeah? Because if the cell door at the South St. George Police Station can be reported on several occasions after an escape several months ago, after a prisoner escaped because there's a problem with it, and it was reported to the hierarchy that, hey, there is a problem here. You're putting the lives of the officers that are on duty there in danger. Because when these dangerous prisoners, as we have now seen, escape, they have the possibility of trying to overpower an officer and take their firearm. They could have probably taken over the entire police station itself and avail themselves of anything within the police station because you did not secure them properly, and it's not the officers who were there on the night to blame and to put all the blame on. The people who were in charge, because if you take a person, you take a civilian, you send them to train for 3 weeks, and then you put them to watch prisoners, who have extensive criminal records, who have spent enough time in jail cell and in prison to know how to get around and get out. If you take somebody who has trained for 3 weeks, or even somebody who has trained for 6 weeks and you put them there, you cannot blame the person you put there. You're wrong. That is like you take a 5-year-old and you put them to drive a bus. Then when the bus crash now, you want to come and complain. Who you going to blame, the 5-year-old? Let me ask that again. You take a 5-year-old and you put them behind the wheels of a bus. Not the magic school bus. The wheels of the bus go wrong and wrong, you know. You put them behind a passenger bus and you tell them drive. And the child crashed the bus. You going and blame the child? Or you going and blame who put them there? Who is legally responsible is not the person who there, you know, because you know that that person was not trained properly, was not supposed to be there at that point in time. But you, through your own bad decision, made the choice to place them there at that point in time. Were the officers who were on duty, officers who did 6-month training and have 20 years or 15 years or 30 years experience, they know when a fella go in and try something, they could just watch him and say, yeah, he go in and try to pull something tonight, let me keep an extra eye on him? Or was it people that you just had for 3 weeks and they come out and there's officer, or 6 weeks and they bring them out and there's officer, and then you put them in that position and now you try to heap all the blame on them? You are to blame, the hierarchy. The hierarchy of the force that put this situation into motion, they are the ones to take the blame. If you want to play the blame game, let's play the blame game. We get out talking about who is NNP police and who is NDC police. I don't know if they went and sit down in the polling station and watch how different officers vote. Like there was a fly on the wall inside of the polling station. So they're talking about who is NNP police. Nonsense. Who is NNP police and who is NDC police and this kind of foolishness. Because they are intellectually bereft of common sense and they cannot discuss an issue in a reasonable manner. So they have to devolve into the nonsensical arguments of this who is NNP police and who is NDC police. And that is one of the same problems you're having in the force right now. Because there is political division taking place in the force, which is weakening the ability of the force to continue doing the excellent job that they have been doing. The Royal Grenada Police Force has one of the best, if not the best record in the Caribbean for detection of crime and even for convictions. The problem, as I've said before and I'll repeat again, the main problem as far as I see it, not only with the leadership of the police force, because some serious shake-up had to take place there. Some serious shake-up had to take place there. Outside of that, the legislative agenda, when it comes to the criminal code, when it comes to bailable offenses and bail, you probably need a Bail Amendment Act to amend how bail is applied in various circumstances. That if you have an individual who has been found guilty before of rape, you have charged this person with several counts, different people at different times, of breaking into people's places and rape, that bail should not be considered for an individual like that. Because you are endangering the general public by releasing this individual. You're giving them an opportunity to add more rape. They're serial rapists. So they are adding more. They don't care, you know, it's one jail they're making. Whether they make it for lifetime or whatever, they're trying to get what they could get before they go inside. Because they know they're going to lose. So with that, you may have to, not me, but you definitely have to amend the way that bail is applied. You have to amend it. No if, what, or but about it. Yes, we could complain about the lawyers as much as possible who go and argue for bail on behalf of people. But if the law says that bail cannot be applied in a circumstance like that, no lawyer can go and argue nothing. The law says that there is no bail in situations, there is no bail. There are certain territories that when it comes to firearms, you're found with an illegal firearm, they find you with one bullet, no bail. You're inside until that case call. There are certain jurisdictions where that has been put in place. Once it's a firearm, you're staying inside until that case call. And then you spend your time. They might take off what time you spend inside waiting on that case. But you ain't going to be outside to go and get another firearm to go and get rid of the witness or anything like that. So definitely the legislative agenda, what is taking place with the judiciary to allow individuals who should not, in other words, the police should not have had to go and look for anybody because no crimes were supposed to be committed in December because the individual should not have been outside. That's my view. They should not have been outside. They should have been inside. Not with the list of things that they were charged with. So you're telling me the rest of them, because it was quite a significant number, was about what, 8 or 9 of them that was charged. You had some juveniles. In other words, some persons that, underage persons that were involved as well, that were also charged for being part of this group that was going around and breaking place and raping and so on. That's in May last year. We're not talking about the December one. That is in May last year. So as I said the other night, they came out for Christmas. Yeah? Eat cake, drink sorrel and rape. That is what they were doing. And we only want to talk about the police and them who was there. No. If you take a child and put them to drive a bus and they crash the bus, you to blame. Not the child. The child ain't supposed to be there. You're supposed to wait until they get to the proper age, that they have the proper training and so on, before you allow them to go there. If you did not give them the proper training, if they were not prepared, if they were not the right person to have there at that point in time, you had no right to put them there. So the blame is on you. Stop trying to blame them. Plain and simple. Yeah, folks, we're going to open the phone lines. It is Wednesday night. Yeah, much people didn't get to call last night. Well, no one got to call last night because basically we had the program with the Honorable Emlyn Pay, and she did an excellent job. We must again thank her for being with us last night. But the phone lines are open. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. That's 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Also, I have been looking at a lot of the different news, and so as I said, and out of St. Vincent, one of the stories that you're hearing is there is a back and forth now between Grenada and St. Vincent in relation to jurisdiction when it comes to this case. So it seems as though St. Vincent may want to try the individuals in St. Vincent for the alleged murders, and Grenada wants to do the same. So there's a back and forth now between the Attorney General, who happens to be Miss Claudette Joseph. We're going to have a talk about her just now. Miss Claudette Joseph here in Grenada, the Attorney General here, and the Attorney General on the St. Vincent side, and the DPP here and the DPP in St. Vincent, and they're having that back and forth about it. I'm saying all your back and forth should be about who's sending them in the United States. Let the U.S. extradite. Who want to vex. Let the United States extradite them. Let them take them. Yeah? Let them be an example to others not to try and follow. So if the U.S. had to take them, let it take them. Whether it's Somali pirates and all kind of thing, you go and attack a U.S. ship. Them pirates and them in Somalia and thing, they attack a U.S. ship and so. Yeah, man, when they take them, they're sending them to jail in the U.S. and not in Somalia. It's to the U.S. you shall go. So if Grenada and St. Vincent having a back and forth over jurisdiction, then let the U.S. take them. Let them go to the U.S. jurisdiction. Because the U.S. can charge them under hijack laws, under piracy laws. They can and should be charged. So there's no main issue there as far as I'm concerned. Let them go there. And I just missed that caller on the WhatsApp caller. You can call back 440-7377. In fact, let me try calling back the caller myself. Yeah, let me try giving a call back. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside. And we have the call on WhatsApp. Hello, good evening.
Oh boy.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Go right ahead, caller. Yes, caller, you're live. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I get the number, but I ain't getting your program.
Oh, no, we're not on 91.9 tonight. You would have to get us online. Yeah, you'd have to get us on YouTube. One of the young ones there should be able to find it. Just tell them look for Talking Points on with Sheldon on YouTube, and you'd find it. Okay, my brother. Thank you. Yeah, don't worry. We're working on sorting out that issue where you're not hearing us on terrestrial radio for some days. So we're working on that, right? 44073 Sandra. Good night to you. 4407377 and 347-329-3101. Folks, yeah, it is important for that discussion to take place, but not even that. Our Attorney General, who we now know has been in discussions with the Vincentian authorities, spent an entire hour and some on radio and online on a podcast on Sunday, and didn't even have the common decency or emotional intelligence to commiserate, to empathize and sympathize with the family of the two missing sailors. Even if you don't think that they have died, it does not stop you from having that sort of humanity to say to the family, well, we are sorry for what you're going through right now. We are sorry that your family members are missing. We hope that they are found and found alive. Yeah? That's what human beings do. Yesterday, the sons of the individuals who are missing, they sent out a release yesterday. And let me just read the release quickly for you all. And, I like to show you all things when I'm doing it one time. Yeah, so let me just read the release quickly for you all. So it says, statement from the family of Ralph Hendry and Kathleen Brandel. We are incredibly saddened to hear the news that our parents, Kathy Brandel and Ralph Hendry, are now presumed dead. We remain optimistic in the ongoing search led by the St. Vincent Coast Guard. We are coordinating with the United States Embassy, the government of St. Vincent and Grenada, as well as other officials of the United States government, as they continue their work on this ongoing investigation into the alleged crimes committed by these three suspects currently held in custody by Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force. We would like to say a few words about Kathy and Ralph that we wish all to know. We live in a world that at times can be cruel, but it's also a world of profound beauty, wonder, adventure, love, compassion, caring, and faith. Our parents encompassed all those values and so much more. If we have learned anything from this tragic event, it's that we know they left this world in a better place than it was before they were born. Ralph and Kathy lived a life that most of us can only dream of, sailing the eastern coast of the United States, living on their home simplicity, making friends with everyone they encountered, singing, dancing, and laughing with friends and family. That's who Ralph and Kathy were, and that's how they will be remembered in our hearts. We are grateful to have been raised by the strongest people that we will ever know, and we hope that we can follow in their footsteps and strive to be even half as wonderful as them. So many people have reached out with love and encouragement, sharing stories and anecdotes of their memories of Ralph and Kathy. And those stories are what we want them to be remembered by. While the end of their life may have been dark, they brought light, and that light will never be extinguished from the hearts and minds of the people who knew, loved, and cared so deeply about them. We are ever hopeful that justice will be served. In honor of Ralph and Kathy, we ask that everyone please take a moment to stop, pray, and reflect on how lucky we were to have known them. Hug your loved ones, spend time with your families, and console one another as we collectively mourn. With heavy hearts, Nick Bruno, son of Kathy Brandel, and Brian Hendry, son of Ralph Hendry. All right, and we have a caller on the line. Hello, good evening.
Good afternoon, Sheldon. How are you?
Hey, I am, well, fair to fine. I can't say I'm so fine, but fair to fine.
Okay, well, Sheldon, I'm feeling the way too when I read out these things about how they was enjoy themselves by singing and meeting friends. That's who I am too. That real feel me. For the time these people die, it really hurting me. And we must remember, the police force have to take the blame. I believe that police was sleeping. To have two prisoners and they just get away like that, I believe they were sleeping on the desk. That's my suggestion. And that's not the first time this happening around the police force. You remember you have a guy, I want to bring back memory in Grenada head. You remember you have a guy used to go, that to tell them police and the real stuff. You remember you have a time, a guy used to just go on our police station and doing diary. You remember that? Until they catch up with him lately. I can't remember if you remember that. You remember you have a guy, he was so intelligent, a young guy. You've been on all them police station and just going and
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he was like a police.
And he played doctor another time, all different things. I know you're talking about.
That's right. So this is not the first time, and I find I should break it down as my leader does say, don't go there, I'm going to break it down. That is way above my pay grade. What a sad statement over the radio and the TV. Very sad for our commissioner been saying that. So they're only there for the money then. The love of the money. But the police was more weaker than before. We have to understand that. And you know, some of them is good police and some is bad police. And we have to work with them together. If they don't know, just ask questions. Ask the old man inside there, the real man. You hear he come and he address the nation. That's the real man for the crime. That's the real man for the work. Ask him questions and we go around and do things the right way. And he want us before we want to make that X. And we seeing it now, right? So them police have to take blame for that. They have to, because if these guys and them were locked up, the people would not have died.
My brother, I still disagree. I think that if you know that you train somebody for 3 weeks, we've been speaking about the fact that these officers were not properly prepared for several months now, since they started this thing with the 6-week training and 3-week training.
Yeah.
We have been saying that these officers are not being properly prepared.
Yeah.
That is the same as I explained. You take a child, you put them behind a bus, and you tell them drive. You responsible, not them. You responsible.
Yeah.
You know that they were not properly prepared.
Yeah.
You know that they were not properly trained. Why did you put them in that position?
Okay.
Yeah, so I am still saying, while yes, there will be a certain level of blame that has to be taken by the individuals themselves, that's understandable. When it comes to the overall thing, the hierarchy has to take the blame.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, my friend.
All right, thanks.
And again, I don't want to just paint with a broad brush like all the police is good for nothing and all the police. I don't want to just paint with a broad brush because it's not so. There are police officers who, Honorable Emlyn Pierre was explaining it last night, and it's true. There are officers sometimes, remember you're leaving home, you're not sure you're going back, Remember Edgar a few years ago? Remember Corporal Edgar a few years ago? You leave home, remember Brenty? Sometime you leave home, you're not sure that you're going back. Hurricane coming, everybody home with their family and they're trying to secure their family and everything, and they boarding up and they packing away things and they brace waiting for hurricane, and so police officers had to go out. They outside. When COVID was raging and everybody afraid and COVID raging and everybody afraid, COVID coming, man, yes, and they don't know how to deal with it, and police officers was outside. Police officers outside manning roadblocks. Police officers had to be going out there dealing with different activities. And everybody was scared because if they only hear you go, much less cough. People don't want to be around you. Because we didn't understand COVID. It just come out and there was this big scare about it and all over the world everybody afraid. Remember some of the biggest cities on earth locked down with this thing. So it was not a situation that you would have wanted to go out for, but police officers, that was their duty. They had to go out and work. So we can't paint with a broad brush and blame all police officers. But I am blaming the hierarchy. If we want to play the blame game, that's why I put in my blame to begin with. Who was supposed to ensure that proper people were there. And when I say proper, I mean properly trained with the experience. Manned the facility at the point in time that the facility needed to be manned. Yeah? Even if it had no prisoners in the cell. You're supposed to ensure that who are there are proper. They have the right training. They know what to expect and what to look out for. You can't train them that in 3 weeks. You can't train that in 6 weeks. Yeah? Folks, there's something I want to play for you all. Let me just get it here. I want to play something for you all from the leader of His Majesty's opposition. Let me just play this one for you. Right, let me just get it here. I want to get it started properly. He did do an interview that was not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. He did an interview, and I just want to play that for you all right about now, and then we'll get back to the phone line. So let me just get that one here.
To speak on this matter, not from a political standpoint. I'm speaking from the standpoint of a concerned citizen, because the issue of security is not something that we can play with. It is not something that can affect one group of persons, religious association, political association, whatever the association is. Security is a fundamental issue that will affect all and sundry. So you don't allow this to be transcended into partisan political. So I'm not going to get into just condemning the government. I have to make the point that as citizens we all have to be concerned when a country's name is being portrayed outside as of being a problem as far as the security of persons who visit our shores. Grenada is known historically a very safe place to visit. I mean, whenever I travel abroad, no matter what part of the world, as Prime Minister or even a member of the opposition, people always praise this country for its security. So I have to be very concerned that what is happening now requires all of us to take stock, so to speak. So I have to make the point that because of what has recently happened, and you've seen more of this, you remember not long ago, I did call on the government when there was the incident where John T just disappeared and died. And I said, listen, you can't treat this lightly. You know, you can't sweep this under the carpet. That you need to call in the FIU. The FIU can be used to call in the FBI or Scotland Yard, as we did, as the government in 1966 did, when there was a major incident and problems, and the foreign institutions came in and solved the problem. I mean, it might look to us as if it's something that means that we can't solve a problem, but when you have security issues, you don't allow anything to interfere. We want a solution to the problem. But I was condemned by many persons. So what you're seeing today is a result of the neglect. The fact is, the government must take fundamental responsibility. And the Prime Minister, as Minister of National Security, cannot duck responsibility for this. So what should actually have happened when these things happen, the Prime Minister should really call on people, call on the police force, call on the country, call on the opposition, call on the business community, call on the churches. Say, let's meet. This is a problem affecting everybody. That's what should have been done. And it worries me. And it's clear that the Prime Minister simply doesn't understand the extent of the damage that's been done to Grenada's name. And that is what I'm concerned about. And that is what I want to advise strongly. I'm prepared, and opposition is ready to do everything it can to arrest this present situation. The image that this country appears to be now suffering. So I just really am worried as a citizen of this country, as I said, not just as a politician, as a citizen. And the Prime Minister could have helped himself if he had said, look, in the light of the problem facing this country, I forgo the Carriacou heads of government. That is insignificant to the stability and peace of this country. I know several times when I was head of government of Grenada, and a head of government of the Carriacou community was being organized. Prime ministers sent notice that they cannot come because of some issues related to the citizens of this country, of their country. And they stayed and send a deputy or send someone, a foreign minister, to represent them in a heads of government meeting. That's what was done. And I recall I myself did not attend a heads of government meeting on the basis of serious issues related to the Grenada situation. Not always political, it could be other security, it could be other issues. And to me, I remember an incident where I was abroad and some serious security issues occurred. And I cut short and said I was coming home because nothing more is important than the perception that the Minister of National Security and the Prime Minister is concerned about incidents that are happening in the country. So I just make a call that we need to recognize this as a very serious matter. It affects business, it affects all aspects of development in the country. Everything has become secondary at this particular time, as far as I'm concerned.
What are your concerns as it relates to guns in Grenada? We've seen...
Well, my friends, when I was in Prime Minister, you should know that was not occurring. We are very serious about this, and those who are doing this would know that the security of the country and the ensuring that people were clearly concerned about this violence and the guns all over the place was a problem. So we made sure that people were watching every aspect of this, and we are in touch with the international community, and I had information that we were making sure that nothing like this would happen. But I also think the Prime Minister must take full responsibility for what has happened. And when you walk in and you go on a television program and demonstrating to the world that ganja, you have not taken a law that in place is still illegal. So even if you have a passive view about this, why are you going and show that you are demonstrating this thing all over the place? You're sending a message of the perception that you don't understand the significance of this. It's sad what is happening, and I think the Prime Minister is damaging himself as a person and damaging the country in that respect.
What would you have to say to the family of the two missing individuals, Yati?
Well, it's sad, very sad, and of course I am concerned because the impact of this, and you can watch the television news and the international news all over the place. It's worrying, and I just want to express my deepest condolences to the family of those of the persons who may have been lost, because up to now we have no confirmation, although we have a lot of reports that the guys have admitted to the crime, but we don't have any confirmation yet. And so certainly I want to reach out my heartfelt condolences to the family, and to say to all Grenadians, Carriacou and Petite Martinicans, this concerns all of us, and not just to say these men, these persons are damage our country, but it's all about all of us, and therefore I'm very concerned, and that's why I chose, coming from a funeral, I just decided when you guys called me, this thing is so important that I should not duck the opportunity to say something to the nation. And I honestly believe Grenada is a peaceful place. This country has a rich history of stability and peace and order. And people tell you when they come here they feel a sense of love, of safety, and so on. So I don't believe this incident would last and to make up a different persons. But if we do not arrest it, it can continue to be a major problem for us.
Final question. What are your thoughts as it relates to border control and security within our holding cells?
Well, my friend, the border security is clearly a serious issue for all of us. And we have to arrest all those problems. And I think it's something that we have to deal with. If you don't have border security, you have nothing. The President of the United States is a big issue right now, border security. If you do not ensure that people coming into your country is protective of the peace and order of the country, you're going to be in trouble. So I think the holding cells, well, we have to make sure that when people come and people do anything against the law, that they have given their rights, and of course we treat them as we should, but at the same time we're very careful that we do not want to accept people who will damage the image of this country.
Yes, folks, and the phone lines are open 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, I just had to play that one for you, and I want to thank the Grenada Broadcasting Network, yes, the GBN, for that footage. Yeah, I got that footage from GBN, so I'd like to thank them for giving that footage over to us. They came and they did the interview and so on. So just want to say thank you to them, because they did have a tag on it, but it didn't show up how I had that up. So again, 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, I mean, people talking about who's NNP police and who was sleeping and all. No, man. It's a much larger problem than that. Yeah? How could you be the commissioner of police and say the last time you speak to the Minister of National Security, the head of government, was last week Tuesday? You had a meeting with them last week Tuesday. That's the last time that you spoke with them? The world news bashing your country. Your image is damaged. The professionalism of your organization, the Royal Grenada Police Force, is being questioned, because to Americans, is now who in charge, or who is it? The Royal Grenada Police Force, as far as they're concerned, messed up. So your organization, yeah, their professionalism is being challenged. And you mean a week and some past? We have a call online. Good night.
Yeah, good night, Sheldon.
Good night.
I'm just begging the Prime Minister to do the honorable thing and fire the Minister of National Security. That's all I want him to do. He fired the Minister of Finance. He has the power in his hand to still fire the Minister of National Security. So I need the Prime Minister to do the honorable thing and fire the Minister of National Security, please. Thank you.
All right, my brother. And while he is at that, he could go with the advisor too. Yeah. Don't just fire the Minister of National Security, Mr. Prime Minister. Fire the advisor too. Yeah? Let both of them pack up, go. Yeah. Fire the Minister of National Security and fire the advisor. Fire both of them. They had to go. Yeah? Because we cannot allow the existing situation to continue. And then, when you have elements out there who are motivated by things other than the safety and security of Grenada, yeah, or the safety and security of even the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force, that is why they could do things like rush on Monday, rush and go and finally fix the cell door that been bad for much months and all kind of thing, to rush and finally, and tell me a lie, that Ollie didn't rush and fix it on Monday self. That is when Ollie decided Ollie rushing to fix it. So Ollie could, when Ollie go in front of the media, you could say that yes, the door is fixed. But they couldn't even say that, because when they was asked the question about if there was a bad door, the docket, they didn't want to answer. Well, we don't want to talk about it. We want to talk about it, because it means that you failed as a leader to ensure that that was sorted out. Yeah? The buck stops with you. The same way when one was asked, well, did you have the RRU and SSU there because you were transporting this dangerous prisoner? A prisoner who, by the way, we're still looking for. A week and 2 days later that we're still looking for. Yeah? That's the kind of thing that we have taking place here. 440-7377. That's 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on the inside. Yeah? And folks, outside of that, it has something I want to play for you all. I had to ask a question, a little off this topic, slightly, but I want to ask a question here. I want to know, who is the minister? You understand? I want to know who, and let me take this call first before I go to that. We have a caller online. Good evening.
Hey, good night, brother Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller.
I'm looking at something, right? where this incident took place with the two American citizens, where the three Grenadian citizens is accused of doing some wicked crime to these people, Brother Sheldon. And you have the government of the day, not a word of condolences to the family or to the American. Give the American government some hope. And then they're looking into the situation and to see what they could do about the two Americans. Not a word. But shall I understand that when something happens, like someone do something to your family, and the person call and say, Brother Sheldon, I'm sorry. I'm sorry what my family do to you. You feel much better. But when that happens, and not a word from the parents, not a word, he hurts more. He comes to like where the citizens of the country, right, which is Grenadians, like the government of the day, they don't care about the two Americans who die. They don't care about it. And not even the person who committed the crime. Not a word was sent out to the family. Right? What are the government doing? The Ukrainian citizens that commit the crime. So they should say something, information, write a letter and send it to whoever state of department to wherever we have to go to, and send something to them. Let the government say, well, let the American government have some confidence and know that the people of Grenada and Carriacou looking into the situation and to try to solve the problem. But when you have the government to say nothing, the impression that the American citizens getting, like this government don't care about the two Americans that died. And Brother Sheldon, it's time for the government to come and say something. Have a press conference. Let the people know what is the situation, what they are doing, but not a word from the government. Brother Sheldon, this government lacking the knowledge of security, and they need help. What is it? So the mother tells him he knows all, and he don't want help, he will always be a failure. So Brother Sheldon, have a blessed night.
All right, thank you. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. And folks, it is very clear. There is a problem when it comes to communication. Yeah? You have the Government Information Service. There are folks inside there who I believe would understand what to do in a situation like this. Craft a communication strategy. You're supposed to have this could never have happened. Let me just make this very, very, very clear. I know of several of the press secretaries to prime ministers over the years. From Miss Nancy Maguire, whom I interacted with on a near monthly basis way back in the days when she was the press secretary. So from Mrs. Nancy Maguire up to Barry Collymore, you had Mr. Richard Simon during the period of the NDC. Mr. Richard Simon was the press secretary. You had after him, you had Miss Keisha Grant, yeah, and Miss Philomena Robertson. Folks, this kind of nonsense could have never take place under any of the names I just called there. They would have crafted a proper response. They would have been the ones speaking with the US media, engaging with the media and so on, reassuring people that Grenada is still safe to visit. The government of Grenada has not told the people out there that Grenada is still safe to visit. No, we know it's still safe. We know our country is still safe. We know we have some miscreants and we need to deal with them. Every place had a few miscreants that need to be dealt with. But we know that Grenada is still the best country on earth. It had none better than it. So at least, if you had a press secretary that was worth anything except a grin, they would have already crafted a communication strategy together with the Government Information Service and together with other entities and ensured that there was a connection now, how the information was getting to the media outlets there in the US, because they watched that press conference with the RGPFF because there are clips that they're using from it. So they saw when the commissioner stuttering and the heavy breathing and them kind of thing, and the before he answer a question and all, they saw all of that. Yeah, they saw all of that. They saw all the physical cues of, hey, I ain't really know what's going on here and I don't want to be here, you know. They saw all of that. And as such, a proper communication strategy. You heard the first caller night before spoke about it. Several other callers spoke about it. A proper communication strategy to help protect the name of Grenada. If you type in Grenada in Google search right now and you click on the news section, all you're seeing is negative news about Grenada. That could have been counteracted if you had people in the position that knew what they're doing. You will tell me that Miss Lakeisha Grant would have been there and that kind of thing. Lakeisha Alexander Grant, yes, again, not she full name. You tell me she would have been the press secretary and Grenada name getting pong out there and she ain't reach out and she ain't controlling the story. You could tell me that Miss Philomena Robertson, that she would not reach out and all over, they would have dealt with this thing properly. But no, instead of that, we have everybody. They with their mouth tape, nothing to say. Yeah? You have Andy Williams, the acting prime minister. And you had a shooting take place in his constituency. In a thickly crowded area with Grenadians and foreigners. That the bus drivers who bring down the people to the beach, you had the guys and them on the beach and the ladies and all the different things, the guys that doing the local water sports, all everybody was down there. Shots fire. You acting prime minister, acting minister of national security, and not a word? Nothing? Maybe you're too busy wetting saltfish, I don't know. But you're too busy. They don't understand, they have no emotion. I keep saying it. These individuals have no emotional intelligence. So when it comes to these things, they don't know how to approach it. Because they're too busy studying money in their own pocket to study the image of Grenada at this point in time. Because right now they say, well, there's only one time we gain. Let me eat it and drink it well. So they're only studying now all the avenues to put money, push money down in the pocket. But not studying how to protect the Grenadian people and the image of Grenada out there. Yeah, and before, before I go for, let me say this as well. Before I go on to this next thing that I was talking about a while ago, let me say this as well. And let me call here on the Grenada Hotel Association, the people who are the members here, the body itself and all the hotels, are the various people involved in the hospitality sector, the people who have the local bars that cater to the visitors and Grenadians as well, and the restaurants and all of that, the beach bars, the restaurants, all of that. The hotels, the people who cater to the cruise ships and so on, the taxi operators, everybody. It is incumbent on you to protect your dollar. As my good friends in St. Lucia does say, watch your bread. If you don't watch your bread, somebody go take it to know. Watch your bread. And if you don't speak out and call on your government to say something, to do something, you may very well find a reduction in your business in the near future and continuing it, getting even worse in the distant future. Because if the situation that fellas could just be allowed to come out and pull gun, yes, the Royal Grenada Police Force did an excellent job in detecting and arresting, detaining these guys, and they need to be applauded for that. Nobody ain't applauding them for that. They did an excellent job in ensuring that they got these guys. But outside of that, yeah, the proactive strategy to ensure that this sort of thing does not happen in the first place, that the police have to go and get anybody. Let me say it again. The Hotel Association, the people involved in the tourism industry, whether you rent vehicles for visitors to the island or you conduct tours or you drive taxi, whether you're one of the walking tour guides, all of you should call on your government to say something and do something in a situation like this. Instead of being quiet and the Prime Minister down there liming right now in Guyana. He liming as far as I'm concerned, because he could have joined that via Zoom. He liming. Not a word. A man who does walk with Carriacou like if he's Beyonce. Not a word. Nothing. And then he going to come back and he going to say, we're having a national press conference on Friday morning We're going and speak about the heads of government meeting and the benefits that Grenada has gotten from I write in the press release for them. They don't need ChatGPT tonight. We're having a national press conference, and we're going to be speaking about the benefits from the Prime Minister's recent travels to Guyana and to St. Kitts. And he will be giving a report on those issues together with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Bring the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Give him something to do. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, and they will be giving a report in relation to that. That is what they come in and do either Friday morning. If they don't do it Friday morning, they're going to try to do it at least by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. They're going to try to hold that press conference, bring the Prime Minister to talk about these things, and then let him give one or two one-liners that they're writing right now using ChatGPT here, artificial intelligence. The one or two one-liners that they're writing right now to come and talk close to 2 weeks, going on 3 weeks after the events have happened and Grenada name don't get spoiled out there. Grenada name taking a battering. And internet impressions don't leave, they're there. That day forever. As long as it have internet, that is there. But they're not doing anything to fill the space with positive news. And then they want to blame Grenadians and say, we Grenadians share. No, we Grenadians not sharing the news. They are putting it out. If we share it amongst ourselves here in Grenada. We are not the ones putting it out to the international media. But you all are not putting out positive news to counteract it. Listen, if you're press secretary and work it, you get rid of the last one who wasn't worth anything. Get rid of this one too. There are people out there who could do the job. Find one of them. No, not me, I ain't want it. I'll help. When Grenada needs my help, I'll always help. But me want to be no press secretary. I ain't interested in that. Nah. Yeah, but if the press secretary you have can handle it. You understand? Go find Miss Lakeisha Alexander Grant. Speak to her. She might be willing to help. Yeah, find Miss Philomena Robertson. She might be willing to help us. So if I find one of them, they might be willing to give all you a look of help. You understand? But don't let anything happen like that. Folks, I want you all to tell me, with this video, it's now 11 minutes after 9:11. That's that kind of time. Yeah, I want you all to try and tell me exactly what is happening in this clip. Yeah, it's a little off the topic, but I want all you to tell me exactly what happened in this clip, and I'll tie it back to it. Right? I want you all to tell me what is taking place here.
And it is one of the, I would say that as the character, it's one of the platforms that scouts look forward to, because every year they call, some people don't know it, but there are a number of scouts that's in that stadium looking at talents.
Yeah, scouting for talent.
Yeah.
Scouting for talent.
There's a minister.
So that's as we about to actually wrap to what I would take.
Imagine you are Cressy, you have Miss Mason, you have you had the chief day, right? I want to know which minister it was that was ponging down the door while the interview was going on. If because they feel there's a minister, they have no respect. They have no respect for the three people we see sitting there. Yeah, so they have no respect for Cressy. They have no respect for Miss Mason. They have no respect for Chief. Let me see. Let me hear again. Let me hear. I just want to hear.
But there are a number of scouts that's in that stadium looking at talents.
Yeah, scouting for talent.
Yeah.
Scouting for talent.
There's a minister.
Yeah, I want to know if there's a minister too, because that kind of behavior. I mean, Mr. Ashby.
There's a minister.
So that's as we.
No, we want to know in truth. No, there's a minister. We want to know. There's a minister.
Scouting for talent.
There's a minister.
So that's as we about to actually wrap to what I would take a final comment from each of you.
Yeah.
As we talk in the call, and it's.
I would say that.
Yeah, anybody that know Mr. Ashby, all you know what going through here there right now. All GBSS boys, all you know what going through Mr. Ashby had at that point in time. I am pretty sure, I'm not a former GBSS boy, no. But I know Mr. Ashby very well, and I'm pretty sure every former GBSS boy and girl knows what's going through Mr. Ashby head at that point in time there. You see the look? You see the look? Yeah, you see Miss Mason France? You see, all right. All you know what's going through the head there.
Because every year they call, some people don't know it, but there are a number of scouts that's in that stadium looking at talents.
Yeah, scouting for talent.
Yeah.
Scouting for talent.
There's a minister.
So that's as we
Yeah,
about to
yeah,
actually
yeah.
wrap the I would take a final comment
Yeah.
from.
Well, who is the minister that do that? I want to know who is the minister that went and ponged down the door in GIS. Yeah? Who is the minister that just find that these three esteemed individuals that have contributed immensely. In fact, you cannot calculate the contribution of these three people. You can't. Just take a look at the three people I'm talking about there again, you know. Who no. You cannot calculate the contribution of these three people. Who is the minister that find them more important than them, so they're knocking down door? Or they want to go inside, or they're knocking down door, bang, 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 bang. Or they can't even wait. Yeah? In other words, why you put out them and bring me inside? I want to know who's the minister. We have a caller online. Good evening.
Hey, Sheldon, good night.
Hey, good night, bro. What's up?
Chief would have say, young man. Young man. No. I said GBSS old boy.
Any GBSS boy knows what you would have been saying there.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, Sheldon, at that point in the program, they would have known that the program on air still. So, I mean, the on-air sign is there. So that person just arrogant.
They knew. I'm pretty sure they knew.
What I saw this afternoon, I was watching the Trinidad news, and the PM came from the Carriacou heads of meeting. And as he landed at the airport, this man had a press conference giving the press what happened in Ghana for a couple of days, you know, and he was giving an update about the oil and stuff. And he was good. He talked about the crime, he touched everything. So I will hope that our Prime Minister, when he come back, he engage the press and don't leave it some like how you leave it some and say internet is working. Let all the press question you, because trust me, right now, I am anxious to hear what this Prime Minister come and tell us after all these days missing. You understand? I will really want to hear. I'll be focused on that TV so hard tomorrow. Well, whenever he come back. Okay, come back tomorrow. But I want to hear him. Secondly, Sheldon, the police and them. Right? Monday gone, I listened to 3 men talk on a platform, on a press conference. In comparison, at the same time, there was one man in St. Vincent, Superintendent Simmons, and he gave more information than these 3 men combined. And he didn't take no question. He was just giving the information, and he gave more and more clarity of what was going on and where this investigation was going. And this man, I believe he should overtake that whole thing and just do all the investigation for himself. That's my contribution to that, Sheldon. Have a good night.
All right, thank you. And yes, I did as well, Anthony. So I saw the interview, well, not the interview, the press release by the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. I saw that bit by them, professionally done. They ensured that they communicated where they were at with the investigation and the surrounding situations, so that they left very little room for any innuendo. If you have a vacuum, if there's nothing there, they teach you that in science. Yeah? If you have a vacuum, things will always be trying to fill that vacuum, you know. Things will always be trying to enter and fill the vacuum, the space that vacuum is. So once there's a vacuum of information, other information, whether true or untrue, whether positive or negative, is going to fill that space. So therefore, you have to ensure that you always keep that space occupied. Yeah? With proper information, which is the point that we've been making. But again, your Attorney General, I wonder if it's the Attorney General that was ponging down the door. I have a feeling it's the Attorney General that was I wonder if the Attorney General went and talked about the case. Because the ponging down door, the Attorney General was very, very busy on Sunday talking about her constituency. Last I know, at the end of the 2022 elections, Mr. Peter Charles David was elected as the parliamentary representative for the constituency of the town of St. George. Yeah? That is the last I knew as of the 23rd of June, 2022. So when I see our present Attorney General going and talk about their constituency and we in the constituency, we did this for and my constituency, and you have no constituency. Yeah? Focus with talking to the Americans and think about extradition. Go and find the Extradition Act and read it. and then look for the amendment to the Extradition Act of 2001. Find the amendment to it that was done. I can't remember exactly I could find it though, that was done. But find the extradition treaty and read it, because you might be having to deal with it very soon. And the surrounding circumstances. Yeah? Find that. Also check the Piracy Act of the UK. Because Grenada's Piracy Act, according to the Criminal Code, is whatever the Piracy Act is in the UK at this point in time. So as that act changes and evolves, Grenada's act also changes and evolves, because it is based on that. It is that. Whatever that is what is enforced in Grenada. Yeah? Read St. Vincent Piracy Act and Hijacking Act. Because what took place was a hijack. It was piracy, it was a hijack. It can be classified as both, even if you ain't yet classified, because according to the UK Act, even in the act of a hijack or piracy and so on, if you cut a person, even if you scratch a person, if you shoot or attempt to shoot a person, stab or attempt to stab or chop a person, any harm that comes to an individual in the process of committing a hijacking or an act of piracy, life in prison. Yeah? So you all need to look at the act. I hope you are looking at the act and so on, and you all are taking into serious consideration that maybe, you all can't even find Magic right now. Yeah, Magic disappeared. Only the man that missing name is Magic, So maybe like Magic, his nickname is Magic, so maybe like Magic, he disappeared. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And folks, outside of this issue, because I know that today there was a press conference by the Ministry of Health. Again, another opportunity that the government had. You had the media on. You had quite a significant amount of people on social media, etc., looking, and whatever is said there would be carried over into the news tonight. So I expected at least some commiserations, some sympathy statement or so from the sitting cabinet minister that was there. But they totally ignored all of this, in fact. And I must give credit here where credit is due. Let me give some credit to journalist Linda Straker, with the way that she phrased the question to try and get them to talk about this particular issue of what is taking place. And it is the issue of violence as a health concern. Because, believe it or not, violent acts are a health concern. Because when they get shot, when they get stabbed, when they get damaged, where they going is in the hospital or the health center and so on that they have to go. And therefore, it is affecting the resources of these facilities to be able to deal with the circumstances. So it is a health concern. So I was very impressed with the way that she posed that question to them. But you know what they do? Then let the minister answer that question. They throw it to the civil servant. So let Dr. Sean Charles try to answer that question. But he's not the policy maker. He may give advice towards what policy should be implemented or considered for implementation. But Dr. Sean Charles, as brilliant as he is, and he's an extremely brilliant guy, is not the policy maker. The person who should have answered that question was not even the PS. That's not the PS thing. The PS is to implement policy, not to create it. The minister, it was a policy question. And as such, the minister ought to have been the one to answer that particular question. But then again, you can't answer because you don't even know if you're going left or right, up or down, or so on. You're asking you about medication, all kind of thing. You're coming with some long-winded story about how, well, whatever the New National Party used to do before, the basics used to be there. So you're complaining, but now the basics are not there. But anyway, as far as I see it, it was an attempt at obfuscation. I think today's press conference was an attempt to get the news to focus on another issue and to try and take the heat off of them. But again, it just goes to show, listen, today is Wednesday. Every Wednesday for the last few Wednesdays, the NDC has had a representative on GBN in the morning on the To The Point program. You know who was there this morning? Mr. Sylvan McIntyre. He's not a representative of the NDC. This was their time. But they're afraid to come and face the Grenadian people because they're afraid of questions. So not a single parliamentarian wanted to find themselves inside GBN studios this morning. Terry, you feel people, Terry, remember I know you in Inside Out. I can tell you exactly where you do. All you're afraid. All you're afraid to go. So not a single minister. Last week they had a minister. The week before that they had people from the Independence Committee and ministers and things, but they're afraid. Why are you all afraid? If you all don't know what to do, there are many people out there that are offering their services free of help, free of cost to help you all. You all want to take up on the deal? But instead, you know what they're doing? They're focusing on blaming civil servants, and that's another discussion. They're sitting there, taking the time to blame civil servants in relation to all the nonsense that they have been doing. They're taking the time to blame the civil servants, and it's the civil servants who doing this, and it's the civil servants who doing that, blaming the civil servants for their own inability to do their job. So remember, these are the same people that say they ain't paying, they wouldn't pay late, and all of that, These are the same people that said that. But you know what? Let's hear. Let me let you all hear something from Sunday. Let me see if I can find that. Right. Let me let you all hear something from Sunday gone.
But it must also be noted that notwithstanding these things, there are one or two individuals who would like to see that this train of movement slows down. And there are allegations of just one or two individuals who are doing things to create upsets, because we still have delayed payments by some officers, and the Ministry of Finance is, confirming that they can only pay when certain documentation gets to their desk. So the allegations of some individuals slowing the process down, causing discomforts to individuals with respect to payment of wages and salaries, is something that the government needs to look into seriously to eliminate that problem as quickly as possible. What are your thoughts?
Yes, Terry. Well, we've heard those claims, and what we can say from government end is that we have consistently managed the affairs of the country and pursued programs and policies that ensures that right now we are in a very healthy economic and financial position. So there isn't an issue with cash flow or ability to pay. That's not the issue. So as the policymakers, we know that we have put ourselves in a position where people who provide services for the government can be paid in a timely and efficient manner, because there's the means to do so. We have also, as a government, been very, very good.
So, folks, she's basically saying that they have money to pay. She's saying that the government have money to pay, and they're putting the blame now on the civil servants. Remember, as I keep saying, and I will repeat on this program until they learn, they have doubled the workload of the civil servants and then want to blame them for not being able to complete the task on time. We have a caller online. Good evening.
Hi, is this Sheldon?
Hi, this is he. You're live, my dear. Yes, you're live. Go right ahead.
Sheldon.
Hi.
I don't want to be live. I wanted to talk to you first, and then I can go live another time. But
we won't be able to take the call off air right now. So you may have to call
I sent you a thing.
Okay, well.
A message.
Okay.
I was there, and I had a terrible. I'm ready to put these people on blast. I was in Grenada, took a spill, went to the hospital. I ended up with staph infection. I had to go to a private doctor. They told me they have no dressing in the hospital. I was there at 7, left 2 a.m. It was horrible. It's ridiculous.
you got a infection at the facility?
I got a staph infection because when I went to the hospital, they told me that they didn't have the necessary stuff to clean my wound, and they just put a Band-Aid on it and wipe it and let me go. So within a couple of days, I started having a lot of swelling. Then I end up with cellulitis on both feet. I had to go to a doctor because I was staying over at a hotel right across Excel Plaza. And so I went to a doctor there, private doctor, and he told me I'm lucky I came right away because I had cellulitis. He had to put me on antibiotics, Augmentin. My foot was like an elephant foot. It was horrible. And he told me I had a staph infection that quick because when I fell in town, a lot of gravel and stuff there, so bacteria is all over the place. So it didn't take no time for a staph to set in. So I'm really annoyed about this.
My goodness.
It really damped my stay over there. I mean, I was born there. I love Grenada, but that medical facilities need to be desired.
Here's what I want you to do. Send me a WhatsApp message on the 440-737 number, 7377. Send me a WhatsApp there so we can speak.
Okay. You know, I think you know who I'm connected to, but he, you know, if you look and you see my last name and you go through my stuff, you'll see who I am. I don't want to say it on air.
Yeah, I understand. So send a WhatsApp to me, and we'll speak. Yeah, send it on the other number, the 440.
The 440
7377. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No
Bye-bye.
problem, my dear. Thanks. Bye bye. Wow. So for those of you who may not have heard, she said she fell in town, and they had gravel and so in the wound that she got. Went to the hospital. They didn't have the medication to clean it. They didn't have the dressing and so on. So they just put a bandage. Well, a bandage is a bandage. You just put a bandage on it. You know, they didn't dress it, and she got an infection from all of that. So I will get some more into that story. Yeah. But again, it's the same thing like what I just played for you, where these individuals are blaming the finance officers now. Now remember, these individuals are the one that created the new policy that we are paying twice a month. These are the individuals that double the workload of the finance officers and now trying to put the blame on the finance officers for the situation that they themselves created, not the finance officers. And it's not the first time that you hear them blaming finance officers and that sort of thing in the ministries and saying that the finance officers are the ones that causing these sort of problems. Yeah? They are not the ones. I mean, come on, you have this one.
Another thing I wanted to point out, because you'd hear it outside also, is that, we didn't get pay on time and there's delays in payment and so on. I'm saying that. From the Ministry of Finance standpoint, we want to encourage the finance officers in the various ministries and departments. Do your work and do it on time. If you know something has to happen, don't wait until the 99th hour and then push the blame on the Ministry of Finance, because we have an obligation to verify the information, make sure it is cross-checked before we can print a check. But if, for example, a staff member has an increase in salary to get, and it's coming from the ministry of, let's say, X or Y, and it gets to the treasury and so on, and that increase is not on top of it and so on, the person may get a short payment, but it's not the Ministry of Finance that pay you short. It's what we get from your ministry and so on, and we verified it. We paid it. So I'm appealing to our finance officers or permanent secretaries who are the so-called persons that need to make sure they verify that everything that goes from the ministry to the Ministry of Finance is done properly and is without errors. And those persons who are still out there skylarking, I would say, because you need to make sure that you do your work. And if you didn't do your work on time, don't blame the ministry at the end of it, because so many times I've been calling my PS and the Accountant General to verify this and verify that. Sometimes it's not really in the treasury as yet.
Yeah, because in December, I know you had issues with some individuals complaining that they did not.
Well, folks, weren't these people not supposed to be paying late because they know how to run country and they know how to run government? But anyway, I digress.
Get their wages on time.
Yes,
It's simply,
but just imagine.
you're saying it's simply because officers did not complete their paperwork in time for processing.
Yes, but again, I must say that the stocks of people that is involved, especially, for example, the Bushin people, and so, I believe that we have to find a way at addressing that problem because, I mean, it's just too much people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have little or no time to basically process all the people, some things will fall to the crack. So as we go forward, we have to find a way of digitalizing those things. If we give the people in the field and so on a little laptop or something or iPad to basically enter the information that can interact with the system directly to make it much more easier. But I would not say that is an easy process. It's a lot of work. Imagine, for example, people expect to get paid for the corresponding 25th and so on. But imagine people woke up to the 22nd and 23rd.
Oh, wait, so you're saying work takes place maybe with the bushers or whosoever up to the 23rd. The officer supervisor.
Again, let me ask the question. So how the New National Party used to pay the bushers and get these things and them done? And these individuals seem to be having a problem to get it done. Why? They double the workload. Yeah? Anybody with common sense would understand that what has taken place is simply that they have double the workload. But you see, again, it gets to the stage that this administration is operating like how little children does operate. The little children do something, and when you're trying to get it out of them, no, it's not me, it's my little brother do it, or is the bigger brother do it, or is my sister do it, or something like that. They're always trying to shift the blame onto anybody else except them. So, you have a situation where Grenada's name is being destroyed out there. Try and shift it and call the few officers who were there that should not have been there in the first place, but who were there, whose lives were endangered by your incompetency. Try and blame those officers and say, well, those officers and them, and they should, the officers and them this and the officers and them that, and try and blame the officers themselves. Yeah? That is what they're doing. Blame the officers themselves. Due to your incompetency, you're blaming the officers themselves. Yeah? When it comes to payment of people, you're blaming the officers. You're blaming the officers. But it's your incompetence. Not the officers' incompetence, your incompetence. You are the one who created the circumstances. But you're blaming the officers. People can't get paid. You create the situation, you're blaming the officers. Everything that happened in this country, they're taking themselves out, is not them. Everything that happened here, they're taking it out. It's not me, it's not me. It's my brother. It's not me, it's not me. Don't blame me, it's not me, it's not me. Yeah? Everything is not me. Everything is not me. Let me show you all something. Let me see if I could pull this up here. Right, yeah. Let me see if I could get out there. Nice, yeah. Let me see if we could get this thing here now. Right. Yeah, let me see if we could see the yeah, that's it. They finally, that is what they fix the door Monday. They finally go and fix. Thank you. That's the door they was fixing. I'm just making sure that the door was being fixed on Monday. That's the door, right? So the door was being, okay, right. So now I was making sure if it's the door that Ole was fixing on Monday, right? So at least the door was being fixed finally. Yeah. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. And again, folks, we will be having Talking Thursdays tomorrow night. Yes, Talking Thursdays will be taking place tomorrow night. There's a message I just get there laughing. Talking Thursdays will be taking place tomorrow night as usual, starting from 8 p.m. One individual here is saying the Prime Minister needs to fire himself. It's ridiculous. The incompetence is through the roof. It is so clear that this government is only concerned about appearance. He needs to resign as soon as possible. Yeah, so that's one of the messages that I've just gotten there. You understand? Yeah. So somebody said that is not the cell door. That look as the back door to the place too. So they went and they was fixing, they fixed cell door, they fixed inside, they fixed outside, they fixing everything. Another, that's not Cressy, that's Cressy's son, right? Thanks for the correction, you know me and go them school day, right? That's Mr. Francis. Julian, yeah, that's Bayi. Yeah, that was your principal. You had a good principal name, man. I hear about him. Mr. Francis Julian. All right? Yeah. Go on, all you. Ponging down door. Who is the minister was ponging down the door? We want to know. Who is the minister who was ponging down the door? Yeah? That Mr. Ashby had to ask that. That is a minister? You had to ask the question. That is a minister? All wondering, those who just joined wondering what I'm talking about? No, I'm talking about this. Yeah, who was the minister ponging down the door?
Scouts look forward to, because every year
That-
the call, some
that's
people
correct.
don't know it, but there are a number
Yeah,
of
they're there,
scouts
they're there.
that's in that stadium
They're there.
looking at talents.
Yeah, scouting for talent.
Yeah.
Scouting for talent.
There's a minister.
So that's as we
Yeah,
about to
yeah,
actually wrap the what I would take
Yeah, that was the message to wrap. Yeah, they ready to come inside and take. I hope what they went in there, they went and taped something to tell the Grenadian people about what is going on with the present situation. All right, folks, let me just clear the lines. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get on the inside of tonight's program. 440-7377. Yeah? And let me remind the young people out there. Let me just pull this one that I started with tonight. And I'll go end with it a little later too. We're not ending yet. Yeah? So you have these three people inside the studio, and it just shows the kind of misbehavior on behalf of these individuals. I am all important. In other words, who is Bayi? Who is Mrs. Mason Francis? Who is she? Who is Mr. Victor Ashby? I want to come inside there. They have to come out. So pong down the door. They have to come out. Yeah, they're not that important. Yeah? Who is the minister? That we want to know. Here is the Attorney General. We have a caller online.
Sheldon,
Yes,
good
sir.
night.
Good night, good night.
Yeah, Sheldon, the same NDC that didn't support constitution reform. You just mentioning there that the judicial system is overloaded and back cases and everything like that. And see, remember when NNP twice tried to do constitutional reform, and that was one of the things that they was going to tackle to help bring the court case them up to date. And then NDC said no. And here it is now we faced with this type of problems. Thank you very much, man.
Yes, indeed. All right, my brother. And you see, that's the thing. To deal with situations as what has happened now, you have to identify where the breakdown in the system took place. Where did the various breakdowns take place? Now, the cell door and the other door that you see the fixing there and so on, the cell door was red and thing, right? But this is the other door, the fixing and so on. Outside of that, outside of fixing those problems, you have to understand that there's a major problem when it comes to the judicial system. I'm still trying to comprehend how it is you can very well believe, and there's evidence to suggest because the individuals have been charged, that an individual has been is a serial rapist. Yeah? And still put the person back on the street until case comes. So you don't care about people, children? You don't care about the females in the country? We have a call on the line. Good evening.
Hello, Sheldon. Good evening, brother. How
Hi,
are
good
you?
evening. I'm quite fine. Go right ahead.
Yes, last night I was looking at the news, GBN, and I saw that the Planning Development Authority was beginning, as of today, the removal of, among other things, unsightly structures and so on. My first reaction on seeing it was, I thought immediately of the vendors or the people who are really, trying to make a living, because, it is very difficult for people these days. And while I am in quite understanding of, the need for proper structures and things done legally, but I think at this point in time, it would be a very heartless and inhumane action to just go breaking the structures or shops or liquor booths or whatever that people have set up in order to earn a living. The unemployment situation in Grenada is very dire, and people cannot find work easily. And I think the government should have found other ways. Maybe, yeah, they say they gave them warnings and so on, but find other ways of cushioning whatever is up. Maybe some of the structures can stay, if they're unsightly, so to speak. And maybe the government assists them in building better-looking ones, maybe remove the plywood, the old-looking plywood, and give them proper plywood or board and paint it and, design them properly or something like that. But I feel that it's always the poor sets of people that are arbitrarily affected by decisions by this government. They seem to have no care or feeling for what people are going through. I'm saying, I wonder if the Prime Minister know what is the price of a loaf of bread or a pack of bread or a pound of sugar. I don't think he hurts his head about his head is hurt over any of these things. Sheldon, I do work, and I can tell you the anxious moments I have when I see that at the end of the month your money just simply disappears, and you have a month staring you ahead staring you, and you have to meet other commitments, family needs, your own personal needs, groceries, and so many other things, comes up in the course of that time. And I know what it is not to have money. This government don't seem to have that understanding, and I'm very saddened by the way they treat the ordinary people of Grenada. Right? The Prime Minister doesn't have to hurt himself for money. They dress nicely, they dine finely, they take pictures out showing themselves at galas and all of that, and the poor people of Grenada are just looking on this show and spectacle that we have for our government. Secondly, Sheldon, I am hearing people calling on Acting Prime Minister Andy Williams to come out and say something. And maybe it's better he doesn't, because to me, every time he opens his mouth, first of all, you don't know what would come out, and he seemed to be putting his foot in his mouth. And he says things that are just so laughable. I had to comment on this a while now. When the President of Ghana came and Mr. Williams was addressing the Parliament, I heard him get up and say he's quoting the words, to quote the words of Maurice Bishop, of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Sheldon, since I'm in school, I know these words are not the words of Maurice Bishop. They are the words of President Abraham Lincoln, given at the Gettysburg. It was called the Gettysburg Address, given sometime in, I think, November 19th, 1863 or something like that. Maurice Bishop may have used it, paraphrased it, but those are not the words. And what surprised me is that the members of the government bang table and applaud it. I couldn't believe, it's like, I couldn't believe that in so-called intelligent people would sit around a table and at the utterance of these particular words, knock table and, in congratulations probably of what he had said. And I'm thinking of the young people who sat in the gallery looking on, and maybe one of them may have to write an essay on Maurice Bishop because he's the poster boy, a poster child and hero of Grenada now. And they would go and quote the very same thing, saying, Maurice Bishop said. And I think this needs to be corrected. Right? The other thing is that I was in conversation with, and Sheldon, here I'd like you to chime in at the end, with what I'm going to say now. I was speaking with a very well-known and renowned Grenadian of international stature. And we were speaking about the incident with the Americans and he startled me when he said, and you said it earlier, that this issue is not a simple one. When he said that the government of Grenada, by extension the Minister of National Security, and the Grenada Police Force stands, they're liable for a serious lawsuit. And Sheldon, that's surprised me. I never thought of it. I just thought of the image of Grenada out there, and the United States maybe, what they'll do about the citizens, and we send on FBI and the investigation, as you alluded to, the extradition and so on. But the possibility of us being sued, and he was able to show me, how, the lapse of security, the inability to protect the people who the Americans, the soldiers the prisoners were in custody and they were allowed to escape and go and commit such a crime. And if you see that way, but I didn't, and it startled me. And if it is true, this thing doesn't end just yet or right here. And that's my contribution, Sheldon.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
And as I've said, my personal belief is that maybe the U.S. needs to step in and an extradition needs to take place, at least some consideration of that possibility needs to take place in relation to that particular issue. But the one thing is that we must never lose sight of the fact. We know where those three are. Just remember this, for our own safety and so on. We know where those three are. In a cell or cells in St. Vincent. There's one that's still running around, ain't found yet. It take them a week and 2 days to send out the photographs of the individual. Yeah, a week and 2 days it take them to send out the photographs of the individual. So we need to ensure that we are on our P's and Q's and that we help assist the police in getting that individual who's outside to get them back inside. Right? We need to ensure that what has to be done is that we as civilians, don't necessarily run up on the person because a man who already charged for what he charged for and a player running up on him to go and grab him and all kind of thing to say go in and hold him, just call the police. Yeah? Because what he might try with you, he might be able to try it with the police. So just let the police do their job. Give them a call, let them come. They're going to come, they're going to get them, they'll go move with them, they'll go do what they have to do. All right? I think we have a caller online. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good night. Sheldon, how are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine.
Good. Regarding the people that say they want to get us off the road, right, who are doing the vending, I think they should be reconsider these people because these are people who wants to work for honest, day of earning to put food on the table for their family, right? Yeah? And I think the people who are in charge on the front line, it give you a homework for me, right? That is how I see it. That it leaves you that you go out and find a proper place probably in every constituency or even in a community area where you can take these people and make a place for them. Yeah? Where this that taking place, create a nice area whereby these people could go and sell their stuff. Yeah? That they are willing to help themselves. They're not on the burden of anybody else. Yeah? Let's come forward and help the people develop. Yeah? Because they don't want to know how from nobody. They're not asking any. They're just going out there, do the little sale, go over the money, come the next day, and so on and so forth. Yeah? Just before the election, I was talking to some people in the Saigon area there, and I refer to them that what they're doing is all right, okay? They're trying to develop. But the time has come now whereby we need a proper vendors market in the south where you can even do your business but at a different level. Okay? So your children could see this. They might want to do better. So you help develop them. Yeah? You create to bring more development within the family and the community as well. So they should reconsider that. It's worth it. Yeah, the people who used to sell by Red Gate, they move lot or they're somewhere in Corinth. So these are the way how you try to develop the minds of the people. And if anybody who's trying to help themselves, let's help them to go forward in life. Yeah? Instead of you moving them. I mean, we all don't like it, but it's a start for them in life. So let's do something to help them go forward in life. Yeah?
Okay.
All right, good
caller. Thank you. Yeah, well, yes, government has started on that process where they're going around and they're demolishing these structures, and I don't think all the structures are just ugly structures and so on, and they're going around, and we could talk about that one though. I didn't want to go and start on that one tonight because, as one of my good listeners just mentioned there in a message, that is a program in itself to deal with that particular issue. That is a project, a program on itself to deal with that particular issue. I do know that they invited the media and so on to go and witness the removal of the first one and so on. They did invite the media and so for that. I have very little to say for now on it. Let's hear what they have to say. We have a call online. Good evening.
Yeah, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, sir.
Yeah, good night. I called you to tell you I get me money, yeah?
You get it? But they say they had the money to pay, you know. They say they had it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they say they had money.
I get it.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, so in the
thank
same,
you very much for helping me out.
in the same way you call and you say you didn't get it, I like the fact that you call and say, I get it.
Yeah, man.
All right, fine. So
Yeah,
the fella,
that program is all about truth, so
yeah.
I keep reading it up too. Yeah.
So the fella's off your back now. They're getting money and thing. They're off your back now.
Boy, I'm so glad, eh?
Oh goodness, I could imagine.
They're really glad because one of them I go up three times they go up in public works to find out if I get the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So finally I get it and then I pay them. So I'm happy now.
All right, wonderful. Okay,
Yeah,
my
thank you
brother.
very much.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
440-7377 and 347-329-3101. I could probably take about one more quick phone call before we end. Well, the Prime Minister returns to the island tomorrow, I believe, was the projected time. I don't know if he will extend this time or if he would be coming back into the island tomorrow. And I'm telling you what I expect. I expect that on his return tomorrow, you are either going to hear of a press conference taking place on Friday, where he's going to come and say that he's going to talk on Friday and say it's going to be about, let me take this call, it's going to be about the heads of government and use the opportunity to speak on that. But we have a caller who will be our final caller tonight. A special good night. Go right ahead, caller.
Hello, good night. What's up, Sheldon?
Hey, I'm good, man. You go right ahead.
Well, Sheldon, said on the truth, with all the incidents and all the news that I'm seeing, I'm not happy, Sheldon. I'm telling you on the truth, I'm not happy. And I know a lot of my Grenadian people, they're not happy either. Right now, a lot of people put aside politics right now. The way the RGPF, the way things was handled for the past few weeks with escaped prisoners taking American people yachts, going up, they throw them overboard, you don't know what they do with them. This thing don't looking good. Sheldon and I be on a lot of social media platforms, TikTok. And could you believe, Sheldon, Grenada name is #1 hit list on a lot of news platforms right now. CNN, ABC News, BBC News, that news, Sheldon, Fox News. Trust me, Channel 8 News in the States, all around the world. You find that looking pleasant. And then now you have our top head commissioner, Mr. Van de Cowen. Y'all don't even put out pictures, y'all don't put out a bulletin immediately. Y'all wait until things happen and then ready to come out and put this bag of nonsense. And having it look like, you know, it's like all he was doing a proper job. Because I listened to the press conference that went on. And for the man to come and say that when he went down by the cell, he was pleased. Sheldon, if I was in this man's shoes, I would never say I was pleased. I would say, trust me, I taken full responsibility. I'm disappointed. If I know the cell is not locking properly, trust me, I'm going on my knees and apologizing to the Grenadian people.
Caller, I'm not sure what it is, but there's something on your end that is very... Oops, yeah, there it goes again. very high frequency, and it's damaging my ears right now. I'm not sure if the listeners are getting it.
You hearing it still?
Yes, something very high frequency, and it's, oh gosh, I get it. But and I'm also out of time. And let's pick this conversation up tomorrow night, please, because it is 9:59. So I gotta run. All right, my brother. Thank you so very much, though. All right, great. Thanks.
Yes, enjoy.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something very, very high frequency that my ears are kind of sensitive to. Something very high frequency there, and it was, wow. But caller, make sure you give me your a call tomorrow. Make sure you give me a call tomorrow. All right, folks. So, folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. And I have to say this as I'm leaving. Again, one of my friends is telling me that the Prime Minister was supposed to have returned today. So let's hope that he has returned to the island today, because whether he here, he don't hear, we doesn't know, Yeah. Whether he here, he don't hear, we doesn't know until we see something come out afterwards that he was gone. Right? So let's hope that the Prime Minister has returned. Please. Folks, the Royal Grenada Police Force, first of all, they need to re-evaluate. Yeah? There needs to be some serious re-evaluation, especially at the top level, because you all are the ones sending the orders down to the ones at the lower levels there. So there needs to be some serious re-evaluation of how, why, etc. that you do stuff. Right? You also need help with your public relations and communications. Let me repeat that. You need help with your public relations and communications. It should not take you all 1 week and 2 days to send out a note saying that a prisoner is missing, a prisoner that is wanted for murder that you all had in your grasp, that prisoner is now missing. These are the photographs of the prisoner. You know how many opportunities you all have lost over the last week and 2 days. Thank you for doing it today. But you're 1 week and 2 days late. And therefore, a re-evaluation of that needs to take place. And to the government of this country, and particularly to the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, I will repeat the call made by one of the callers earlier. You need to fire the Minister of National Security. And in addition to that, I will say you also need to fire the National Security Advisor. Because it seems as though all the advice has been doing is destroying and mashing up the Royal Grenada Police Force. So you need to re-evaluate. But first of all, start by firing the Minister of National Security. By next week, we should have a next one. Fire them. Yeah? Fire them. And folks, you all need to take note that it seems as though no other minister can speak. You hear people that talk about dictatorship? Dictatorship is when no other minister can say a word in relation to this issue, even though you had two that were on media within the last few days. No minister could say a word about this or even the shootings that took place on Friday and so on. No other minister can say a word about it. All of them have to wait until the boss reach back. Nobody could say a word. It says a lot about the organization. It says a lot about the individual. So be careful when you're talking about dictatorship, because you just might be describing yourself. Folks, I am out of here, and enjoy the rest of your night. We'll be back tomorrow from 8 p.m. with Talking Points for you.
But certain things that I see going on, yeah, we should close down our station from the nation. Why? Cause all you fretting me. We work good about you, don't give a fuck. Administration is riding we back. All you fretting me, you hear me? Most of us do the pre-promotion course. Now you drop seal and busting we. All you fretting me, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me. I said don't fret me, don't fret me. All you fretting me, yeah. Right up the reader. Every police walking around the clock to get all the black and video back. When we hold the culprit behind the fence, some complain and say leave them, it don't make no sense. Say what? All you fretting me. We walk good about you, don't give a fuck. Some of all you just attacking we. All you fretting me. We seeking for betterment in this place, but all you stabbing us in with chest. All you fretting me. Don't fret me, 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 don't fret me. I said don't fret me, don't fret me. All you fretting me. Hey, 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 right up the reader. Say what? Any tiffin man not go in your home. They not leaving no table there undone. If you come and meet them, then I got it. And your hand.